So we came in yesterday to have a port call with some liberty for the crew to explore Friday Harbor, get some time off during our patrol here. And then today we had some community engagement with the general public coming by between 8 and 12. And right now we are hosting the Boy Scouts and the Sea Scouts here on board. Oh yeah, we had an amazing turnout, probably over 200 people. The sheriff really set us up well and invited people for his Facebook page, so that was amazing. We'd like to thank him for that. So our greatest asset is really our ability to launch our small boat. In most conditions, we have a stern launch system for a 17-foot response boat, so we can really get on scene, launch that boat and bring people help or put people in tow and really take care of a lot of distress cases with that.
Typical day underway. We'll get underway from a mooring ball or anchor, and we will go conduct a law enforcement mission, or if there's a search and rescue mission, we'll do that. And we'll stand our 4-hour watches. I stand the officer of the deck watch along with 2 others, and we'll rotate every 4 hours on that. All right, this is the bridge or the pilot house on board Coast Guard cutter Blue Shark. This is where we stand our officer of the deck watches and our crew member of the watch watches. So they conduct engineering rounds as well as assist the OD or officer of the deck with basic duties on the bridge. My job as an OD is to maintain proper lookout and safely navigate the ship for the commanding officer and let him know of anything that comes up that are in his standing orders. We tend to utilize our navigation system over there. We don't have charts anymore. So we utilize our ECDIS system. It's our chart plotting system. We have one node here. We have a secondary node back there. And then we have a third form, or we like to call it a tertiary form of e-navigation, and that's via the Ray Marine chart plotter system up there. And we also have 2 radars. We have our 50 radar here, which is old-timey. The water's ready to go. Which is our primary radar system. It talks to our AIS, which gives us information about other boats. So I'll turn it on to demonstrate that. We have these little triangles that are boats, and when you click them, it gives us their name, typically, as long as it's registered, their bearing to us, their range, course over ground, speed over ground, CPA, which is their closest point of approach, which gives us information on what kind of navigation rule we will be utilizing to safely navigate the cutter. And I'm going to turn that off. And then these are our throttle controls for both of our MTU diesel engines. We have a twin screw vessel. This is our helm, and that's how we steer the vessel. When we're underway, we typically use autopilot to maintain track. We have a track mode that allows us to follow our routes that are on the chart plotter. And then up here, we have our FLIR, or forward-looking infrared camera. It's gyro stabilized and allows us to get a very good visual on our, could be a law enforcement target, search and rescue case, person in the water, or just for standard lookout duties, trying to determine what we're looking at and what kind of situation may exist. At night, it has an IR mode or infrared. During the day, we don't want to use that because it will burn it out, but it allows us to pick up heat, and so if we're looking for somebody in the water, it can be very useful. We monitor 1.3 and 1.6 on our VHF radio, and then also we talk to our sector on these Motorola's here on VHF and UHF. We also have a high frequency HF radio for offshore operations. And if that doesn't work, we also have a satellite phone that we can use. There's an antenna that goes up all the way up to the pilot house there, top of the pilot house. And we can use this attachment here to dial in and make a phone call if necessary. Or if sector needs to get a hold of us and we're in an area where the radios aren't working because it's got a lot of hills around the islands, or up in Alaska where we've gone before and had to use it, that would be what that was for. Here we have our 1MC system. So that's for pipes to notify the crew of emergency, if we're having a brief, or just basic information to get out to the crew that's easier than calling everybody up at the same time.
So welcome to our mess deck and our galley. This is our kind of common area on board the cutter. This is where the crew will come for meals, for some relaxation, and kind of space owned by our culinary specialist, which is our cook on board. And we can seat about 9 people at a time here on the mess deck, which works out well with our 11-person crew when 2 people are up on watch on the bridge. Everybody can cycle free on here. Right adjacent to it, you can see the vestibule leading into our engine space. So that's where we have our 2 main diesel engines and our 2 ship service diesel generators. And on the other end of the mess deck, you can find the path to our crew berthing area, where we have one 4-person room and two 2-person rooms, a head and a shower.
Hardest part about this is probably family, not being around family, missing birthdays, stuff like that. The typical military, missing events that typically you wouldn't if you lived a normal schedule.
So the impressive thing out here is we have such a small crew, 11 people, that everybody has to kind of step up and bat above their weight class. If they were on an equal job on a larger ship, they would be doing a lot less. They might just be a lookout or standing at a certain engineering watch. On here, really every person has to know what's going on and be involved with all operations and kind of have a larger view of the mission as well.